Good afternoon, dear Stitchers. It's Judy with JBW Designs, and I'm back for another video. This is number 64, and it's been a couple weeks. It's been almost 3 weeks since I have filmed, and so I want to welcome you back and thank you. I think I set a record last time for a number of comments on the last full-sized video that I did, and I can't thank you enough for your encouragement and your kind words and your just lovely emails. It always brightens my day. So this channel, if you're new to me, is about cross stitch, and we're up in my office studio. I wish you were all here today. I'm not facing a window because the other side of the room where my work table is kind of a mess, but it is a glorious day. The skies are clear blue, the temperature is perfect, so we just had lunch on the porch, which it's our favorite thing to do in our nice weather. But fall is approaching quickly, so we hope it lasts our nice weather a little bit longer. So I have lots of things to tell you about as usual. And the reason that I was delayed in making a video, as I usually do every 2 weeks, is that I participated, as most of you probably know, in Needlework Marketplace, which is a wholesale market that is open only to shop owners, and it's an online show. So, excuse me, we're up in our, sorry about that. I'm getting choked up about this story. We're up in our offices for 4 days in a row. It was last Friday through Monday. And if we're not visiting with a shop owner, I'm running back and forth, entering orders, filling orders, etc. It was a great market for me. And the kind of interesting thing about the online shows is that they attract a lot of shops, and this is understandable, who can't really afford to come to the Nashville Needlework Market in March, which is an in-person market at a hotel. Coming to that show is very expensive for shops, and so we get a lot of smaller shops who attend this show, and actually a lot of international shops, so that's always so much fun. I had shops from the Netherlands and England and Australia and New Zealand, so I'm so grateful for all of their business, and for you for requesting some of my designs that just came out. So what do I have to talk to you about today? Well, first I'd like to acknowledge some mail. I'm going to take a quick drink. I seem to be choking up here. See if I can get myself rolling. So I received a wonderful little card from Merritt, and she is so just because, and she sent the sweetest note. She had come to visit a month or so ago, and she thanked me for our wonderful visit, and she wished me good luck in the show. So thank you, Merritt. And then I also got an email from a gal named Susan, and she reminded me that she was the one who gave me the idea for the Around Britain design, and she was so excited when she heard the news that I had actually designed that. So thank you to both of you. So the first topic today is going to be some things that I use for finishing, and I hadn't been to Hobby Lobby in quite a while. And so yesterday I popped in and I picked up a couple of items, and I thought, I want to show my viewers some of the things that I have used for finishing in the past. And these are pretty much all Christmas items, but they have them back in stock again. So I thought I would show you the model and the book and the product that I've used, because as we know, they don't always bring back their seasonal products every year. And so when I find them, I think, I've got to share them with you to let you know that they are available. I'm not sure that always they're all online, but at the end of my video today, in the notes section, I will put product numbers for you. So the first one I'm going to, excuse the rattles here, I want to tell you about is one that a shop owner wrote to me and wanted to find out what the product number was. And so I thought, well, I didn't pick it up again, but I can tell you about it. So this is something that I have used in the past. It's just a little, like a 3-inch round ornament. They're very inexpensive. They're 6 to a package for $2.50, and then they're always on sale. And what I did with this particular ornament is I spray painted it, and then I mounted one of my recent designs, let's get this right side up, the Around Britain design was mounted on that little ornament that I just showed you. And I think that this shape would be perfect for so many of my ornaments that are in my ornament collection books that are a round shape. This would be a wonderful item for finishing. So that's one suggestion for you. And then the next item that I found, and I was so excited to find it because I've been looking for quite a few weeks, and I thought maybe they had discontinued it. But guess what? It's back again. So I'm going to show you, I actually took it apart because it was so crinkly. So this is the piece that I've used before as the base for finishing some of my round Christmas designs. It's just a little balsa wood. Let's see, 3 come in a package. It's called Joy to the World Ornaments. And again, I just spray paint it. You could do it any color you want. And the design itself is going to cover the wording. But I'll show you how sweet it looks when it's done. So this was one case where I used it last year, and I used it for the Around France design. And I always thought that just really set off a round design. So this is what the Around France booklet looks like. And then it would also work for my recent release Around Britain. It would work just as well with that one. And I have a couple more to show you. But again, any of the round ornaments that are in my ornament collection booklets, even, it's kind of upside down here, even the ornaments that are worked over too, I think would fit quite nicely on that as a finishing product. So that was a second product that I wanted to share with you and to say they're back. They seem to be back in stock again, at least at our store. So then there's another item here that I came across, and as I say, I hadn't seen it yet this year. They get their stuff out so early, but I was so excited to see this. So I'm going to, let's see. First I want to, this is a tricky one to show you. So this is my Christmas in the Round design. And it came out a couple years ago, and I mounted it in this joy piece that was kind of, it feels like metal, but it must be some kind of a composite. And I loved the way it turned out. I mounted it actually on the outside of the O, and then I put a pretty Christmas fabric on the back. I didn't pull the model out, I should have. But actually, this particular model broke in transit in a trunk show. And then, so good news, I'll show you a picture. I actually stood in the store and photographed it. So they have that joy sign again in both red and white. Actually, that was a new color for this particular style. And I like it because it sits on a table. It just makes a nice accent piece. But they also had, so then the following year, and this year they have both products out here, they also carry a wooden version of this joy. And so when my first one broke, I ended up taking it apart and putting this Christmas in the Round design on one of the wooden ones because I knew that if it traveled, it would be safe. And it turned out equally as cute. So both of those are still, as far as I can tell, in the stores for this season. Let me set some of this out of the way. As you know, I'm surrounded by piles of stuff. So now the last item I'm going to show you is, I couldn't find the exact model, but I saw things very similar to this. So this is a wooden snowflake. It actually at one time came in two sizes, this larger size and then probably about a 4-inch size. And this also makes a wonderful finish for your ornaments. It would be really cute with my French country snowflake design mounted right in the center of that. Now this year I didn't see the wooden ones, but I saw they've changed it a little bit. The new ones this year have lettering in the center here. But again, if you're mounting your finished product or your finished model on this piece, your model could cover the lettering. So as I mentioned, the French country snowflake would look darling in that, and also the winter in the round would look really cute on this piece. So those were the 4 products that I thought you might be interested in this as we're coming up on the Christmas season and you're starting to make gifts. So now my next topic for the day has to do with pictures that my viewers have sent to me through, I'm kind of sorting, I have a number to show to you here. Let's see if I can sort this and get it all in order. So I have a Friends of GBW Designs Facebook page, and people post the most wonderful finishes on that page. And so this week I thought you may not have had a chance to see all of them, so I just printed out I think 4 or 5 finishes, and I thought I'd talk to you about them because I like to inspire your finishing. So the first one I'm going to grab here is, I've talked about this in the past, but I love to see things that are done differently. So Eliza's French Birds came out in Nashville in March, and it was very, very popular. But, people change things up, and then you say, oh my gosh, I love that. So this was one example of that model worked on a darker background fabric, and this was done by Glee, and I just thought it was striking. I forgot to write down the thread count and the name of her fabric, so if that's something you need to know, I'll look that up and be sure to tell you next time. But isn't that just striking? It just changes the whole look of the design. And then this, I think I mentioned it last week or a couple weeks ago. I don't think I showed you the picture. I'm going to bring that up close. Someone finished this as a pillow. And I just thought, once again, I loved the finish. I love the fabric. And so, as I say, I like to inspire you with ideas for your work. So another one that popped up, and this was from Sheila, and I loved her finish. I thought it was so clever. So this was for a baby grandson, and she took 2 of my French country designs, and I'm sorry to say that both the rabbit and the lamb are out of print, but I'm going to show you some other baby French country designs that would work just as well. And then for the 3rd frame, she stitched the baby's name. She mounted it on a red ticking in white frames. Isn't that just a fabulous finish? I was so excited when I saw that, so thank you, Sheila, for doing that. So I pulled out a couple other designs that would work. I do have, let me pull these up. I have a French country bunny. You could choose some of the other designs that are baby-like. There's a hobby horse. There's a giraffe and a lion. There's also a cat. I'm getting a little glare here. And there's also a dog. So there are a number of things you could find to do a finish that is similar to the one that Sheila did. So let's set that one aside. And then this was really fun, because I'm going to talk about fall models today. This, I actually have 2 pictures to show you. So this was from Heather. Do I have it upside down? Right, let's see. It's upside down. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to see in my screen. Yes, this is right side up. So this actually is from the booklet, Fall in the Round. And there were two things about Heather's picture that I just loved. One is, and I don't know, it's probably hard for you to tell on my screen, but she did this one in a variegated fiber that kind of went from gold to yellow to orange, and I thought it was striking. And then she did the same design again in another variegated hand-dyed floss. And then the other thing I loved about her finish is that she finished them in hoops, just simple embroidery hoops. And if you notice, she has also painted those hoops. And I just, that's such a simple finish, easy to do. So thank you, Heather, for sending that. And then I had another, Kathy sent actually a number of finishes that she did. And she mounted them on wooden pumpkins. I believe this one, because I have one that's very similar, comes from Hobby Lobby. And these were 3 different of my fall designs. So she did French country pumpkin. She did a Halloween in the round. And then she did a fall in the round. And I thought her finishes turned out so well. And what I like is, you don't have to do a round. The French country pumpkin actually has more of an oval shape, and she just left off the word pumpkin. So those were fun finishes to see. She also sent another, Kathy, you've been very busy. She did the French country Santa and finished that in a little wooden box. And then I've always liked this finish, if you can study it and see it. She just did one of the Christmas ornaments, and she mounted it as a lid on a glass jar and added the twisted cording around the edge and a little charm right here. So French country Santa looks like this. You've probably seen it before, but seeing the finished product is always a lot of fun to do. And then my last show and tell for today, I'm like a first grade teacher or student, right, is this one. And this was from Heather. And let's get this right side up. So she finished my 12 Days of Christmas designs, which I'm going to show you the books in a minute, are 4 different books, and each book has 3 designs in it, obviously. But look at how she finished them in the tiny little 3-inch hoops, and how easy that would be for a finish. I just thought it was really a great idea. I've actually seen people use quite a few of those little tiny hoops for finishing, and they turn out so well. Now when I finish these whoops, sorry about that, I'm dropping things right and left. When I finish these designs, I actually finish them as a flat with a coordinating fabric on the back, a little hanger actually at the top, and sometimes I hang them on a window, and they're quite striking. So here's book 1, let's see, and 2 in this series, and 3 and 4, and these were so much fun to do, but I thought you'd love her finish too. So thank you everyone who has been posting pictures on my friends page. There was one other I wanted to print, and I wasn't able to get a good copy of it. So anyhow, I hope that inspired you for your finishing going forward. So now, my next topic for today, I was trying to think of what I wanted to do today, and if ever you have suggestions for me or topics you'd like me to address, please just write and mention them, because I'm always looking for ideas. So because September is beginning tomorrow, I thought, I think I better get out some of my fall and Halloween designs, because before we know it, that holiday is going to be upon us before Christmas. So I just pulled out, 6 or 8 different models that I have. I'll talk to you about the finishing, and hopefully you'll see some things you hadn't seen before, because some of them are actually older designs, and that's always fun. I don't have all the models, but I can show you some of them. So this is Alphabet Owl, and Alphabet Owl was worked both over 2 and over 1 just finished his flats with a twisted cording, little ribbons, and I'll show you what that booklet looks like. That booklet looks like this. This was designed 7 or 8 years ago, so I consider that one of my older ones. And then there's the first 3 models I'm going to show you are all owl designs, so I must have owls on the brain, right? This is a French country owl. And again, that's one of the older ones. And then I have a third one I wanted to show you. Here it is. This one is, I told you I had owls on the brain. This is owls in the round. So I finished one of them on a paddle like that, but then I finished another one on that method that I talked about earlier today, and this is just the lid that goes on a glass jar. So this is what the model looks like. And on a lot of my round designs, if it is a lid of something, I often take one of the motifs from the design and mount it on the inside of the lid. It's just kind of a little surprise. I didn't bring the jar up here with me, but it looks so sweet because it sits on a little jar that you could fill with Halloween candy or with, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the orange fluffy stuff that we use for decorating. I'll think of the term for it. Here, I can show you. You can see it in the jar right here. So that was kind of a fun finish idea for you. Then let's see, I want to show you a couple of older French country designs. And sometimes when I show you the designs over one, I want to tell you that you do not have to, if you see the design worked over one, of course you don't have to work it over one. You work it on the fabric that you are most comfortable with. And my designs work, I have had this question before, they work beautifully on Aida because I don't use any partial stitches, they're all just cross stitches, so they will work on any count fabric. So what I always want to show you is not just the design itself, but to look at the cover of the book to realize that if you like this finish, you could finish it like this too, no matter what count fabric you're working on. So it would just be a larger version of this pillow. But I love the way my finisher used a fabric down 2 sides of it, any kind of black and white. Trims look cute with this. This one actually does have a little holder up at the top, but how cute that would look on a little tiered tray or in a dough bowl. So that is French Country Ghost. And I've come to the conclusion, and you probably will not be surprised at this admission from me, but I am incapable of doing Halloween things that are scary looking. So I'm sure you're not surprised at all. So my Halloween designs tend to be of a milder nature. This is the French Country Crow. And again, I love the finish of the pillow. It has a little hanger up at the top. I love the rickrack with the little buttons. They're tiny little round buttons. Let's see if I can put it like that. And then this is what the booklet looks like. Now these were worked on a 32 count Belfast linen, the over 2 model in the color latte, and then I did a 28 count for the over 1. I usually use a cachel because it's fairly easy to see the holes. All right, let's grab some more things here. So I have 2 more French country designs to show you. And I don't know why. This was, I think it's the finish that made me love this one so much. I love the ticking on the front. Look at the gorgeous fabric on the back. The rickrack around the edge. Now this could be mounted on a board, on any kind of a flat piece. And this is French Country Witch. She's not particularly scary looking, and this is what the booklet looks like. So this particular model is worked over 1, but I also worked her over 2, as you can see on the back cover, and just it was made into a little pillow. I think it's equally as cute, but once again, the finishing that you see on here can be adapted to the over 2 model. And then the last French Country fall one I have to show you is called French Country Squirrel. And of course he's made up of all kinds of little fallish motifs. And this is what the booklet looks like for that. This particular model that I'm showing to you is worked over 1, but I have, you can see on the cover of the booklet, this is the design right here as I'm kind of pointing, see it's on my left I guess, is the model worked over 2. So those are some of the fall designs, and I have a few more to show you, and these are going to be more Halloween in nature. So let's see if I can. So this one I have to laugh too because of the title, which is Scaredy Cats, doesn't really fit the design in a way, because it's actually a very sweet chart of the word Halloween with little black cats running here and there. Now I have seen many versions of this stitched. I've seen it stitched in orange. I've seen some people stitch it with variegated Halloween colors. It's wonderful. I've seen it stitched on orange, Halloween fabrics. I've seen people do all the cats in one color and just one black cat. But I always liked the way this turned out. It's just kind of a fun one. And this is what the booklet looks like. Here shows the original model that was stitched in oranges and just put into a frame. So that's French Country Scaredy Cats. And then this is a little frame that I bought at Michael's actually, and I loved the little round border around the edge here, and this is Fall in the Round that has been worked. This particular model that I'm showing you here was worked over 2, and this model was worked over 1. Now I should have brought up the other model of this. Let's see if I have a picture of it. I do. So the model over 2 I actually finished on a paper mache box, and these are fairly readily available at Hobby Lobby. They're usually sold in sets of like 3 or 4 sizes. I think this was about a 4 or 5 inch box, but once again I finished it as a lid. I painted the box, or I covered it with, actually let me take that back. Paper mache is very tricky to paint. So this one I covered with fabric, and I used an adhesive spray glue to get the fabric on the box, and then I just cut out a silhouette of a pumpkin out of scrapbook paper, and then added a little plaid ribbon around the top edge of the box. So that's just another little finishing idea for you there. And then on the inside of the box, I just did the little turkey. So that is Fall in the Round. And here's one that's quite different. It's actually came out quite a while ago. It is called The Witch's Hat. And I'm sorry to say that these black silhouettes are not, I have not been able to find them again. The company that used to make them only made a limited number of them. But I'm guessing that you can find something that would lend itself to the finishing of this design. I love the white on the black fabric. I actually had somebody, and this was so cute, they actually made it into a hat for their cat. Now, we know kitty cats are not patient about wearing hats. But boy, was that picture of the kitty cat with the hat on was so cute. So I've also seen, I'm trying to think, almost like a paper three-dimensional hat, black witch's hat made that you could probably find, and that would be awfully sweet on the front of that three-dimensional hat. So just throwing out ideas for you. All right, so this is the pumpkin that I see it's lost its, let me look here. I tell you, I've told you before that when these travel, the models take quite a beating. So let's look at what's missing. So do you see the stem on the pumpkin there? I just looked at it and realized, uh-oh, it's gone. I'm going to have to come up with another something to put on there. But I saw when I was at the store yesterday, Hobby Lobby yesterday, they had quite a few wooden pumpkins of various shapes and sizes. I'm going to show you another shape that they still sell. And it just makes a great finish for, let me show you the cover of the book, for Halloween in the round. So I'm going to show you this other pumpkin in a minute. So this is the model that I worked over one, and I just finished it as a flat and glued it right to the pumpkin. And then, oh, guess what? Guess what just turned up? Yay, the missing stem. I don't have to make something. Whew, thank goodness. So this is another pumpkin, and this I did not get at, I think I got this at, it says Joann's, there we go. So, keep your eyes open. I used this, and I liked this because it can sit on a tabletop or a shelf. You can see the flat bottom. It was a balsa wood. I just spray painted it, and then this is the model over two, mounted it as a flat, and just added ribbons at the top. So that is the end of my fall inspiration for you. So now what do we need to do? There are a couple things. The first is I like to feature a shop every shop of the week when I do my videos. It is very important for our needlework, independently owned needlework shops to be supported. They work so hard. I mean, it's practically probably a 24/7 day job to keep that shop running, to keep everyone happy and supplied, etc. But I want to support them. I think it's very important to our industry. So even if I mention a shop that's not in your region, I'm going to encourage you, if I show you this shop, just send them an email. They would be so happy to hear from you, to try to fill your order. So my shop this week is Stitch New England, and this is a fairly new shop. It's in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. The owner is Pam. Her email address is stitchnewengland@gmail.com. And you can see her address and her phone number. And I just spoke with Pam last weekend at Needlework Market. And she is going to be doing, she does several retreats a year. And she's going to be combining with another shop and doing a retreat in, I'm trying to think, in Virginia, I believe next spring. So if you're interested, write and find out more about it. But she is on my automatic, which means she carries all my new products. So if you're looking for a source, please give Pam a call. I know she'll be very appreciative of that. So my next topic is, and where did I put it? Okay, here it is. In the video last week, I mentioned that I was so happy about getting to 5,000 subscribers that I was going to do a big giveaway in this video. And so I chose 10 products that I just went into my stock closet, and let me lift this up here, and found things that I thought you might like as prizes. So I'm going to pull them out. And I chose kind of randomly, I hope that's all right with you. I chose 10 names, and I do that by through the random number generator. So I tell the random number generator how many comments were made and choose 10 numbers. And then I go through and I count until I get to the numbers that were chosen. So these are my winners, and I'm going to go in order. So this is going to be prize number 1. And to collect your prize, I'm going to encourage you to email me. That is the best way to reach me. It's judy@jbwdesigns.com. I'll put that in the notes below. But the Gmail, I sometimes get those messages. Instant messages are iffy for me, so email is the best. So write and tell me your number, your name. Of course, I have the list here, and I will send them out as soon as possible. So my first winner is Karen W., and she won this darling linen bag and a book that goes with it so that you can stitch on this cuff either a border or your monogram. So Karen, that's prize number 1. And then I tried to number these all here carefully. My second winner is Mary S., and she is going to be winning this kit called Mary, and it was actually finished as a little pillow. It includes all the trim, the fabric, the booklet, etc. to make that design. My third winner, sorry for the crinkling, is Joanne S., and she's going to be winning Wishes for Santa. And now most of these kits that I am giving away, I was down to 1 or 2, so I don't have any more, I'm sorry to say, to sell, but maybe they'll be more precious that way, right? So this is actually a little envelope that you could use, a child could use to put a letter to Santa in. And again, it has all the necessary trims. So that was, let's see, that's number 3, and that was Joanne S. The fourth winner is Kara, K-A-R-A-P, and she's winning the Spring Bouquet Needlebook. The fifth winner is Pamela S., and Pamela, you're winning the Candy Cane Pocket Kit, which has the chart and all of the finishing instructions for that design. My sixth winner is Kima, and I meant to look back at my notes again. So Kima, it's 9171. I hope I spelled your name correctly, but Kima, you are going to be winning the Antique Sampler Collection Book 2, and this is a collection of 5 different, I'll show you on the back, antique samplers that are in my collection that I charted. And some of my favorites are in this booklet. So let's see. Winner number 7 is Linda V. And this is the Love Always kit. And again, it gives the chart and the finishing instructions. Winner number 8 is Kathy, K-A-T-H-I-E-R. And Kathy, you're winning the Christmas Ornament Collection 1 booklet. That's the very first one that came out. And then number 9 winner is winning Christmas Ornament 3 booklet, and that is Albert Country Stitcher. And then my last winner today is Lorraine A. And Lorraine, you're going to be winning a fairly recent release that came out in March called American Marking Samplers. And again, these were 5 samplers in my collection that were charted for this booklet, along with the history of as much as I could find, of the girls who did it. So those are my 10 prizes this week. And I just can't thank you enough for subscribing and watching. You all are the best. So thank you, thank you. So I talked to you about my email account. I do have our Friends of GBW Designs Facebook page. That's where all those finishes were posted. You just have to answer some questions and you're in the group. And it's kind of fun because I do a contest every few weeks, and I'm overdue. I'll try to get to that this next week. I do have an Instagram account. It's judy.whitman. I'll put my address, my mailing address, in my notes below. And then I have a website, and it is jbwdesigns.com. And it has a shop on there. It has a category called shop. I do carry my older patterns in that shop, but my newer patterns, I'd say the last 5 or 6 years, are only available through needlework shops. So, thank you. I have a quotation, which I always like to kind of end my videos with, and this one is a fairly short one, but I thought it was sweet. May the joy of simple things color the canvas of your soul. And I'd like to change the word canvas to fabric, because that's what we're used to using, and we love our stitching. It's just, it enriches our lives, doesn't it? So I want to tell you one more quick life update. This is Labor Day weekend coming up here. Actually, both of our children and their families are gone this weekend, so we won't be getting together. But my husband and I have planned a couple of things we're going to do. Tomorrow, actually, I'm going on a little adventure by myself. There's a fall mercantile show, and I'm planning to go to that, which is about an hour and a half away. I have stitching to do. I have yard work. We're going to take a bike ride on one of our nearby trails one day, because the weather's supposed to be good. And we're going to eat on the porch as much as we can and enjoy our summer days. So, thank you. I hope you have a relaxing weekend also, and that you have time to either be with family or to spend it doing the things that you really want to do. So see you in a couple weeks, and be sure to write and let me know what you want to hear about. Thanks, bye.